So the next sort of set of controls I like to show you are the ones that control the legs and the feet. So in order to actually to begin editing our walk cycle, we need to get out of the presets into editing mode. Like I said, the presets actually are loaded in, and then we need to actually to be on editing mode in order to be able to sort of like to edit those presets. So we start with the stride length, and you can see that as I do, the floor sort of dynamically actually adjusts to actually show us the length of the front of the stride. And then we have the front lift. Then we have the front crossover, which allows us to actually to just crisscross the feet across. Then we have the back of the stride, the length of the back of the stride. And then we have the middle of the stride, the back of the stride height. And all these controls, although actually they might look that the break, the walk, they're very useful, because for something like kind of running, you need to actually to have these controls in order to create that. Then we have the mid stride height for actually getting the guy to lift his knees up. This control here is kind of related to this knee height control, because at some point you will see that actually that the knee will flip and break. So we can actually fix that by adjusting the height control. And you can see that we can get sort of some really high positions in the knee and still avoid that kind of flipping. Although we need a bigger sort of stride in order to actually to make it more appropriate. So the next thing we have is the back cross stride, which crisscrosses backwards. Then we have the stride width, which allows us, our character, to actually sort of like kind of to work in a really wide stance. So perhaps your character is a really sort of fat guy, and you need him to have sort of a bigger stance. Also, if your character was is a woman, you'll find that women have sort of much tighter, sort of neater sort of stride width than men. So they actually would be walking with the feet closer towards each other, where a man usually walks sort of like kind of with his feet wide apart. Then we have the knee position, and with the knee position we can have like a cowboy type of look, or bring the knees in sort of to have a knock knee kind of character. And again, you can see that as you get sort of like kind of intersection here, we can actually adjust the stride width, and we can sort out the problem of actually the mesh kind of penetrating each other. And then we come to the foot controls, and we have the toe lift for a sort of like floppy foot kind of cartoony character, and the heel lift or the ball lift. We have the heat turn, and you can see how easy it is to just get used to adjusting those controls, because they are connected with each other. So as we actually want to create a sort of like kind of a guy walking in pigeon toe, then we can adjust the stride width in order to take into account for him being able to sort of like kind of to create that kind of walk. Or if the guy is walking, you know, like Charlie Chaplin, then we can sort of like kind of adjust this accordingly, give us a little bit of knee turn, and we can actually create a walk sort of like. Also, if we wanted to create a feeling of you know, the Charlie Chaplin sort of really fast walk, like in the films, we can adjust the speed and just zoom out a little bit, and then there is our Charlie Chaplin walking along the road. Okay, so okay, in the next little video, I'm going to show you now then the spine controls. Thanks for watching.